All right. Here we go. Sweet, sweet. You want everybody to introduce themselves just real quick?
I highly recommend you do a clap sync.
What is that?
Which is this. Which I already did. So in post-production, you can sync them up together so that audio and video are like dialed in. So you can match it to the peak.
Okay. That makes more sense. I like that. That's smart.
What do you mean? That's a video thing.
That took forever. It was me editing.
No.
Literally trying to line it up.
No, dude. This will give you a high
spike,
peak.
Right?
Yeah, spike. And all you do is line it up to where your hands meet.
Interesting.
And now you're perfectly synced.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. All right. Talksome podcast. We're going to be talking about episode 6 today of WandaVision. Super dope episode. We're going to break it down kind of scene by scene, like bigger plot points, and then we'll just go into theories and stuff like that. So, sound good?
Awesome.
Okay, so episode 6, it was like Malcolm in the Middle, right?
Malcolm in the Middle?
I felt like that was the vibe, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, at least the intro wise.
With like the narrative.
And then the kids kind of breaking the fourth wall, talking to the audience.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool.
Yeah, they didn't really specify, but it definitely was like very 90s.
Yeah, that's what it felt like for sure, which is so cool. I love it.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure it out, but I couldn't.
It's going to be interesting to see if the sitcoms stay. They said the first 6 episodes was like half an hour long.
Yeah.
And then the last 3 is an hour long of just like MCU craziness.
Yeah.
Do you think they stick with sitcoms through these next 3 episodes, or do you think it kind of goes off the rails into just MCU? Does that make sense?
No, I think it definitely stays.
Well, it stays?
Yeah.
Because we saw clips of stuff that looks kind of like Modern Family-esque or The Office, of her actually talking to the camera, like an interview. So I guess, that stays.
One of the things I didn't really get a chance to do, but I wanted to, is as Wanda was like expanding her territory, the car sales and everything turned into a different time period.
Yeah.
I didn't really analyze that well, but I'm wondering if there were any Easter eggs in there.
With the circus. Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure that there was like something there that like some kind of Easter egg there for like a future episode or whatnot that I just like didn't notice. But it'd be like super cool to just go back and like analyze those little scenes. Yeah.
Start doing breakdowns.
Exactly.
Videos. Heck yeah. Which is super cool with Disney doing Disney Plus shows is I feel like there's such a small amount of time that they have to fit everything into these episodes, and not a frame is wasted with like props in the scene, anything. Nothing's wasted. Every dialogue is important to listen to, like double meanings and stuff like that with Quicksilver, which we could get into. Okay, let's start with the episode. So they start out with this Malcolm in the Middle like type scene, I guess, with the uncles sleeping on the couch, Quicksilver, and then the kids are talking about him. And he comes up, and they're all playing around, and then we see everybody in their costumes because it's Halloween. Vision and Wanda come downstairs, which I thought it was really cool that there was like a reason for her to be wearing her costume. She said that it was like a Sokovian fortune teller, or what? Is that what she said?
I didn't catch on that.
It was kind of cool, like there's a reason at least for her comic accurate suit. And then Vision comes down the stairs, and he's dressed up in his thing, and there's still a little bit of conflict, right? He was like, these are the only clothes that were in my closet. Like, of course I'm wearing this, you know?
But they were definitely hinting that was done purposefully, though, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Wanda
sure.
made it so that those are the only clothes in his closet, so he had to wear that.
Yeah. And then it almost seems like he's trying to like not make her mad, and then they started getting all sexy and flirty, and I don't know exactly what they were saying, but
he's like figuring it out, getting used to it.
Yeah,
like he's tired of it.
Yeah, which he goes and sneaks off, which we find out later. And then what does it cut to from there? Is that when we go to Sword, right? After that kind of first part of the episode, or is there anything else during that period that you guys want to talk about? That first scene with like Quicksilver or anything like that.
Quicksilver just takes one of the twins to get the costumes, right?
Which I have my theories about him.
I mean, I'm wondering if this is kind of like, if Quicksilver is kind of like Wanda's creation, why she allowed Quicksilver to let Vision leave.
Yeah.
Because at that point, he was pretty much against Wanda. Wanda wanted to not let Vision leave on his own kind of thing. And Quicksilver was kind of like giving him an excuse why to let him leave.
Yeah, that's true, because he wants him gone, probably. I really don't think that's Quicksilver. I was going to try to say this theory, but I don't know exactly, because it's going to sound way too confusing, but I think that people are starting to figure out that Wanda's doing this thing, right? Like other evil forces in the MCU. So when oh man, this is so hard to explain and kind of break down to make sense, but when she wanted her brother, what if this logic kind of goes with the MCU, what if these other people, like let's just say, or throw it out there, but let's say Evan Peters is playing Mephisto and he's just playing the role of Quicksilver because that's what she needed. Because we see him always wanting to be around the kids, which I'm pretty sure he wants the kids for whatever reason. We don't really know yet, but her kids, she has no control over. They're important. And he's constantly wanting to be around them. And somebody pointed out, too, that, I'm getting too ahead of myself. But at the Halloween scene after the what happened with Sword and Monica and all that, he was like, oh, what exactly did he say? I guess we could play it, but
when
he was like, "Unleash hell, devil spawn." Did you catch that or no?
Demon Spawn, yeah.
Devil spawn, which in the comics, her kids are fragments of Mephisto, like literal devil spawn. That could just be like a little Easter egg thrown in there, like to reference the comics. But what if? That's why I think Evan Peters is not. He's not who he's saying. Like Quicksilver. He's not. He's not Quicksilver.
I feel like he knows a lot too.
Yeah.
He knows a lot.
Well, he's aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, that kind of comes into play. It's kind of also what's also going on with Sword.
Oh my God, I have a crazy theory at the end. I'm gonna say
it's really weird. Well, it's not so weird, but they have this tracker on Vision for one, and they're kind of pushing away all the people who are really trying to get the answers. Yeah. Like, what's going on? Like, are they manipulating an aspect of this?
Yeah, I could see that. It seems like the director, well, Wanda and the director know each other. Yeah. If you noticed, when she walked out in episode 4, she was like director. Like, she knew who he was. And that could just be like she broke into Sword, stole Vision's body, and they had an interaction there, or there's deeper meeting with that director dude. We'll see. I think he's going to be more of like a government evil type person, kind of taken up for what's his name? Well, he's going to still be in the MCU, but General Ross. You know, he's just another evil government person that we'll see.
Well, that's the thing.
Influence.
What's the makeup of Vision too?
That's a whole okay.
Because if there's so far we know it's vibranium.
Yeah.
But is there something else going on there that we're not necessarily aware about yet that maybe Sword wants from Vision?
Yeah.
Because it really seems like they're more interested in Vision than anything else.
For sure. Every time we saw them tracking, it was only Vision. Like, they don't really care. They even said in that first scene where we see Monica and him kind of bickering, he wants Vision or Wanda dead. He just wants her out of the picture. And it kind of, like you're saying, it really seems that he wants Vision, and that's it. Yeah.
Or another theory would be, does he want Vision to control Wanda?
Maybe. Or that's going to be their play into the Hex, is maybe being able to take control over Vision somehow. We'll see. And that's how they get rid of Wanda, maybe? Is that
no, I'm not. I'm saying more being able to use Wanda as a weapon.
Okay.
Because she would do anything for Vision. So if they have control of Vision, then they have control of Wanda.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because we see time and time again, she keeps trying to save him. That's true. That is very true. I had a theory. This is a while back. This is episode 4, but I thought, you know how Monica went into the hex with the what is it called? What's the material called with the of her vest? What?
The bulletproof material.
Yeah, what is that called?
Yeah, Kevlar.
Kevlar. There you go. And then when she came back out, she was still wearing like the sitcom clothes, but it was made out of Kevlar. It was just like Wanda manipulated the reality of that clothing. So it's not necessarily like the thing changing, or she can't make something out of nothing. She could just change the appearance on the outside. Is kind of what it seems like. Yeah. And I was thinking that Sword would definitely want to weaponize that. Yeah. Just going into Sword wanting to weaponize things and take it for government purposes, but that could also be maybe their play of like wanting to get in there and what for, I guess you could say. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so where do we leave off at?
It goes from Quicksilver takes the twin to get a costume and then it breaks into a sword. Okay.
Oh, and then it goes to Sword.
That's when...
We could just briefly go over that.
That's just when Sword... it's Monica, Wu, and I forget the other girl's name.
Darcy,
yeah. They're... They just had a disagreement. They got kicked out of Sword. Or they got kicked out of the facility.
He's being a douchebag. He's like, thank God you weren't here when your mom died. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. Oh my God.
I mean, I was kind of bummed out with that situation. I was in more with like the aftermath after they were able to escape. Because it's Sword. Yeah. And the truck's supposed to be like on its way out, and it's still there. Like, there's so much stuff there that was like they didn't kind of notice that. It's kind of like I feel like they definitely like wimped out on that whole like.
Yeah, like they're supposed to be the same thing that I was saying about the helicopter drone that they put in there the first time. I was like, you guys are Sword. Like, you guys have the highest tech like ever. You have what is Iron Man's suit made out of? Nanotech. Yeah. Like you guys, like you just said, you were working on that, and you're pulling out this drone. Come on, man, that's crazy.
Well, on that note, what always struck me was why didn't the drone transform when it went in?
It did slightly. So
just the color.
The color, and here we could pull it up. We could check it out if you want.
Oh, because it was just like a square helicopter.
It was kind of like a square and it had Sword on it. Well, even though the one that transformed did, but it definitely looks like it transformed into an older version.
Just like a regular helicopter.
Of what that would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it kind of seems like maybe Wanda did this on purpose though, and maybe she was trying to send a message, because it seems like anything that comes in and gets transformed is kind of transformed to what Wanda wants.
Yeah. For sure.
So why would she let a drone?
Why did it? In? Oh yeah. Why is she letting things go in?
So was she trying to send a message?
Maybe. Like, don't F with me.
Because it did lead up to a pretty badass scene.
Oh heck yeah. For sure. Yeah, I wish we were able to freaking put the podcast out for episode 4. I liked episode 5, but I think episode 4 had a little bit more weight for me anyway. That was the first time that we saw Wanda come out, and that scene was just ridiculous. It was so awesome. Such like Magneto vibes, of like everyone pointing guns at him, and then she was just like, yeah. Oh man, that was so good.
Wait, are we on 5 or 6?
6, I think. 6. Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We just got 6 yesterday.
What they keep fleshing out or keep adding on to Monica's relationship with Carol Danvers, and obviously there's something going on there, because when they first brought it up last episode, she looked like she did not want to talk about it at all, and then the director, he was like, I know your history with Carol Danvers, this and that. So it's going to be interesting seeing her, because she's confirmed for Captain Marvel 2. She's going to be in that movie. So I can't wait to see that dynamic with their relationship, because they're really building that out. Why would she be mad though? It seems like she's turned off about anything with Carol. Do you think it's because she left and her mom was sick, or
probably
something like that?
That probably is why. That makes the most sense.
Captain Marvel's just did them dirty or something. She didn't take the scrolls back. I could live here.
Can I open up a can of worms here?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, awesome. So, it is clear to me that previously, Vision was either as powerful or more powerful than Wanda, I think.
Yeah, he was like...
he legitimately had a stone.
Yeah, he did. I swear.
So I want to say he was more powerful than Wanda. But now, it seems like he's less powerful than Wanda.
Kind of switched.
And the thing is that I keep going back to is that Infinity Stone was destroyed. Mm-hmm. So what's on his head?
Yeah.
So is that even a Infinity Stone there? Or is it just kind of there to look like one? Or what's really going on there? And if that's even going to come into play,
we could just jump straight to when Vision walked out of the Hex.
Yeah, he should have been able to just walk out.
Yeah, when he was getting pulled back and like all the little pieces that were flying off. Which I don't know how you guys interpreted that, but it seemed like Wanda, she put him back together with all these little fragments of her reality, and it looked like all those little fragments that, because when she found Vision, and I'm sure we'll see it, but he was all pulled apart, in the little footage that they showed of her breaking in. He was in pieces.
Oh, it's because they were like trying to
experimenting on him.
I didn't know that. I didn't see that.
I
didn't understand that when you were telling me about that.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking only his forehead was missing. Stone.
Just the stone?
Yeah. So I thought he was just getting pulled apart.
That dude was in pieces. He was chilling.
That's a good point.
So I think when all those things were getting ripped back into that reality, it was literally Wanda putting him back together, and then whatever was left from that reality was getting just sucked back in, which was horrible. It made us watch Vision die 3 times. It's like, Jesus, man. And we have to turn on the subtitles. And when that happened, I want to know what he says, because when I first watched it, it kind of seemed like he was like, I've been through enough. Like, help me. Like, that is horrible. Like, that sucks so bad.
No, I think he's telling.
Or did he say something else?
Help them.
Help them? Okay.
Yeah.
On this watch right here, that it didn't sound like that this time, and I was like, so yeah.
You just keep the subtitles on, and I think I read that was saying, if I remember correctly, it was saying
they've been
help
through
them.
Okay, gotcha.
Like just that they need help.
Jesus,
more than
man.
anything, because he's the only one who's seen them.
Yeah.
He's been getting in their heads.
Oh man, that was a horrible scene.
Now here's another thing too. It's he got told that he's dead.
Yeah, so now he knows. But
you actually shared a theory before of like a floating dead guy because of the vision that Wanda had, or like she saw him like in the like just like gray with like the missing thing and everything.
Yeah, I still think that's what's going on. Well, okay, so I used to still think Wanda was just having Vision's dead body float around in her reality. I do think that's still happening because he walked out and he fell apart, and he died, I guess you could say, Vision. But we saw with Evan Peters.
I was just going to refer to that too.
I don't think that's his dead body, like who knows?
Unless she did, though.
Maybe she ripped him out of the ground, pulled him into this reality. That's horrible.
I mean, is he in the ground?
I don't know. I don't know.
Sword could have easily just gone through this is an Avenger with all these powers. We're not gonna let just anyone keep his body.
That's true.
Let's take his body and freeze it or whatever. And in the process of her stealing
Vision, she also did that.
She also took her brother because she always keeps having
these memories or her suppressing her own memories. They all the terrible ones are coming to surface, and she's trying
her brother. So I don't see that totally unreasonable. So is her dead brother just floating around?
We have to discuss, we know that in Spider-Man 3 coming up, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield are pretty much, they're not confirmed by Marvel Studios, but a lot of people have been seeing what's going on with leaked stuff. But we do know that all of their villains, Jamie Foxx, I don't know the actor's name who played Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2, the Sam Raimi. He's confirmed. They're already talking about him being in the movie. Who else was confirmed? I think that dude. I should know all these actors' names.
The Green Goblin.
The Green Goblin dude. What's that guy's name? I think we should know that.
I don't recall.
Was the older guy?
Yeah, he's a little bit older now.
I don't know who that was.
He was in Aquaman 2. Not 2.
I know you're talking about. Yeah.
I think they said that he's in it. So if they're going to be pulling all these people from different realities, it would be kind of confusing for them to do the same thing with Quicksilver in the show. You know, like she ripped him out of the multiverse maybe and pulled him into her perfect reality. But that also bashes my theory of Quicksilver being somebody else, like being like Mephisto or Nightmare. Because that would be way too. I don't know if I'm going off the rails too much right now. But
go.
It would be way too confusing for them to be like, okay, Evan Peters played Quicksilver in the Fox universe. Let's bring him over, but he's Mephisto. He's just acting as this other person, and Marvel's just being clever with how they're handling the whole merge of all that. It would be confusing if, let's just say, that he ends up being somebody else. Because I have more reasons on why I think he's definitely not Quicksilver. And then in all these other movies, all these different Spider-Man are coming up, and all these villains from different movies, and I guess you could say the multiverse are showing up. And I'm sure everything's going to get explained at the end of the show and the logic behind it. Is camera good? Cool. I'm sure of it. But I don't know if I went off the rails too much right there or not.
No,
or if I'm making sense. Do you guys get what I'm saying?
I definitely get what you're saying. But then we also have to remember that when we were watching Endgame, what's Doctor Strange's mentor? That bald lady?
The ancient one?
Yeah, the ancient one. She mentioned that if you remove a stone, or even like blow it up, it totally takes you into this whole another dark level,
like multiverse of all these different scenarios.
Well, Thanos destroyed all 5 stones.
The directors, what they said, because somebody asked that, they're like, "You just said that you need these stones, and then Thanos destroyed them." If you look into what Thanos said, he said that he reduced them to atoms. So the stones are still technically there; they're just atoms. Does that make sense? They're just broken up into these little atoms, and who knows where they're at. They're still technically there. It's not that he got rid of them completely.
I missed that information.
So that's kind of they're handling that, even though it's super confusing to have the scene with Hulk and her, and then.
But you have to also realize that Wanda did destroy one of the stones.
Yes, she did.
And even though Thanos completely turned back time, the stone was still destroyed
for that little amount of time. What happened during that little amount of time before Thanos brought him back? You're right.
I mean, by Thanos bringing it back, though, did he just now create another multiverse kind of thing?
Then you could also say that she just reduced them to atoms. Because when she broke the stone, it was it kind of looked like it fell into pieces. Not necessarily that it disappeared or was the Avengers were literally taking it out of that timeline and then going somewhere else with it, which would leave that timeline, if they didn't return the stones, completely lost.
But can you return something that, if a stone is dead, blows up, it's done, finito? Yeah. Can it be brought back though? Because otherwise, what's it called? The wise one. What was it again?
The ancient one.
The ancient one could have mentioned something about that, or she wouldn't be so hesitant about the stones being blown up.
Think about Loki. Loki snatched the Tesseract.
Yeah.
Space Stone. That's gone. So that I'm sure we'll see something with that, with the fact that that's gone.
Well, that's going to come into the Loki series.
Yeah, I can't wait for that freaking show. Holy crap. If this is what WandaVision's putting out.
Yeah.
Oh, so freaking insane. All right, we totally got off track there. Where were we at with the episode?
Oh, way back. I did get subtitles, and he did say help.
Help?
Help me.
Oh,
yeah.
Help me.
Mm-hmm.
He did say me?
He says it at the end. He mumbles it. Go watch it.
Yeah, let's put it on.
Oh, wow. Where is it? There we go.
Your dad, in my head. He's in trouble.
Oh, the people need help.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, that's so dark. all the missing pieces she just filled in with her reality. Warping powers. Just watching it. Look at his head. His head's like flailing. Ooh, man. All right.
So it kind of goes back to your theory of like what else is going on in there,
Mm-hmm.
because if this is Wanda's world, like
Why can't she control?
She's the owner
certain
of it.
people?
Why didn't she know that Vision was
Yeah.
going out?
Yeah. It might be the fact that he's a robot. You know, like you could kind of play that in there. It's like he's a robot and she can't really control maybe like a robot, but she can control people.
But he's dead.
But he's dead, yeah. Oh, that too. That is the fact that he's dead. He's technically not alive.
Well, he's dead, but then it also comes into play like how much of that role is she really under control of, and has someone else like tampered with it?
For sure. That's for sure happening. It has to. My main theory was Agnes, of course. But after the little scene that we saw with her in the car,
Yeah.
I know. Okay, so there was leaked photos. Faith, if you could look up leaked Agnes photos, I guess, witchcraft photos. There was leaked photos for them filming the show, and she was wearing like a witch outfit from like the Salem witch trials. And there was a whole scene with all these witches during that time that was leaked. So we know that she is a witch. I don't know why Marvel did that whole scene in the car, because that completely switches your mind on everything. Like, oh, we thought that she was kind of behind something, that she was kind of up to something because she's always popping in when Wanda needs her. Mm-hmm. She's always doing these things. So, of course, we thought, like, oh, she's... My initial theory, I'm sure everybody else's, was that she's working for Mephisto. They're taking advantage of the fact that Wanda did this and she didn't really know how, and they're trying to get her, because like we saw in the first couple of episodes, they kept talking about the children, for the children, and then Agnes was constantly telling her, like being like super sexual with Vision, you know, like stuff like that. So, like to kind of, I feel like it was built to manipulate Wanda into having kids for a while until it happened. So I thought at first is that Agnes was working, which it still could happen for whoever's really behind this, not just Wanda, and was manipulating her to give birth to these kids where we don't know how the kids are there, because the kids are real. It might be that Wanda pulled from... Oh, man, we're getting deep. So Doctor Strange, they talk about the sorcery that they use. They pull it from other dimensions.
Yeah.
They're able to focus so much that they pull that magic from other dimensions. And they said that Wanda is the same thing as Doctor Strange. Like, she has the same powers, how she's able to pull from she has a different power set, which I'm sure they'll get into with her chaos magic, which is a whole nother thing to get into, but we don't have to talk about that. What if she pulled from hell, and because that was the only way maybe that she was able to, and then pulled these fragments and brought it over to her reality, which ends up being her kids. Does that make sense? Because right now we're seeing that she can't really make something out of anything. She's morphing the reality of things.
Yeah.
So she couldn't just make life. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I could be wrong, but...
No, you're on point with that.
So maybe she pulled but from the wrong place, and she didn't really know. And then now her kids are there, and for whatever reason, Agnes, because she was, for a while, really wanted to get close to the kids. She still does, I think. And she was also, I feel like, intentionally trying to make them grow up with bringing out, you know, every time that they were crying in episode 5. Was it 5? Yeah, 5. They would grow up because they didn't want to deal with the grief. Similar to Wanda, by the way. Okay. Whoever's watching, the camera dies, or not dies, but shuts off in every 30 minutes for whatever reason. So we're going to stop it here, and then we're going to just pick it up so we're not cut off.
Good boy.
Why is mic too... Oh. It was too loud? I don't know. Where were we at? I lost track.
With Wanda and the kids.
So, just long story short, they want her kids. I think Evan Peters, like everybody else, definitely isn't Quicksilver, even though it's going to be confusing when they bring in, I don't know how they're going to handle it. We'll see. But when they start bringing in other characters like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and all that, I need to stop. I think it's Mephisto, and he's trying to get close to the kids for whatever reason. He wants the kids. Maybe he wants to possess the kids so he could take their human form into the real world. Maybe, I don't know. It's going deep with it.
Well, no, I think you're kind of on something there, because if we remember the clothing that was Kevlar based, it didn't change after she left.
Yeah, it's still kind of stuck around.
Yeah. So
how would that work with the kids, with them being like actual humans?
I'm wondering if now that they've been transformed, if after they leave, they'll be what they are.
Maybe, yeah. You have to factor in that her kids in the comics, they're like not Tommy as much, but Wiccan is what's his name? Billy's like superhero name. He's a huge part of the Young Avengers. Huge, like he's like one of the top people, and which I guess we could talk about this. Where was I going with that? Oh, I lost track. Where was I going with that? I don't know. I'm gonna edit that out. We'll see. They're fleshing out the Young Avengers right now. We have Cassie Lang from Ant-Man. She just got recast.
Yeah.
And they're the only reason why they would recast that because they want to go in the future with a new character. We have her. We have the two twins now who are big parts. We have it was rumored that what's his name? Something Ladd, I think. There's like a Captain America type like superhero in Patriot, maybe. I think his name might be like something Patriot. He's going to be in the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. Okay. So they're bringing in all these kids. I'm sure I'm missing other people too. But
well, two that you are missing is there's been rumors about Iron Man's daughter.
Oh yeah, for her coming back.
And even that that kid that Iron Man helped out.
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
And then one thing that I thought about back when Endgame came out is that during Iron Man's funeral, you see different people, and you don't, like, for example, like you see Ant-Man there, but you don't necessarily see his family there.
Yeah.
But then you get to Hawkeye, and his kids are there.
Yeah. And
you see in the beginning of Endgame that he's even training his daughter how to shoot an arrow.
Well, okay, so not to cut you off, but Kate Bishop, you know, Kate Bishop she's like the female Hawkeye. She's confirmed in the Hawkeye show. They're already filming. She kind of takes up that mantle for the next Hawkeye. And
wait,
she's
is that
younger.
his daughter?
It's not his daughter. It's this other girl that he ends up like getting pretty close to, almost like a father-daughter relationship, but it's not his daughter. And she's going to be... who's the actor, Faith?
Of who?
Who's playing Kate Bishop? Haley Steinfeld?
Oh, Seinfeld? Or
I don't know.
Seinfeld? Something like that.
So you don't think that his kids are going to play a role?
No, only because she's a character, you know? Only because that she's... It would be cool. And they were they're probably like hinting that Kate Bishop was coming.
I mean, we've also seen this role where there's a mentor and the mentoree goes dark.
Yeah. Ooh.
And maybe this is a chance for his children to come in.
Big brained over here, son. Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be interesting. Man, we're not even talking about WandaVision anymore, but I like this. This is cool. What else do we have to go over for that episode, and then we can kind of just ramble?
It just shows this episode shows both the twins getting their powers.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was cool. That was really cool. It was so weird. My first time watching this, which I tried to record a reaction, by the way, and the camera shut off, so that was ruined. But there would have been one out, like a video yesterday would have been posted, but whatever. When I saw her kid like get super speed, like I didn't react to it like at all, like because it seems so natural, you know. Like I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh, like that just happened. Okay, that's cool. I love Evan Peters though. Oh my god, in this episode he's so cool.
Yeah,
he's so funny. What did he say? He's like chipped off the old. Oh man, do you want to just watch it? I'm
What
not gonna
part?
know. When right after Tommy gets his powers, you got super speed.
So he goes to the candy bar.
Yeah, it's like. Let me see.
No.
Here, I'll just let you guys see it.
Yeah, skip forward a little bit.
It's during the nighttime.
Whoa. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Before that.
I thought he got his
Right
powers
there.
in
Right
the
there.
day.
Go back like slightly. One more.
Right there.
There you go.
Mom, can we go? Next stop, Cavity Town.
Right on, little dude. Chip off the old
Right on, little dude.
super speed.
I do?
Love it. That's awesome.
It's okay, baby. You can take it slow.
Okay. So that happened.
And then right after that, it shows when I don't know why I always forget their names, but right there isn't that the scene?
Oh, with oh yeah, we definitely. Have
Where
to
she
talk
said she's
about
gonna
that.
meet somebody in an hour.
Yeah, which why am I stuttering so much, bruh? Did you catch on in episode 5? With she said that she had a contact about like an aerospace engineer is what she
Yeah.
said, right?
Yes.
That she knows a guy that's going to be able to get her in there, and that if you go into the comics and who's like a scientist based, that could be a lot of people. That could be Mr. Fantastic. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. Which would be insane. Oh my god, if John Krasinski, which he's like rumored to be maybe cast in that role, if he showed up in the show, oh my god, that would be insane. That would be so crazy.
I don't see them implementing Fantastic into this.
That's what I'm thinking too. But what if like that they're gonna throw you off?
It'd be cool.
Oh my god, that'd be insane.
But I feel also that if they were gonna introduce Fantastic, it'd be
In a movie,
maybe.
but they're treating these shows like so good. Like this is like movie quality for sure. Like
It definitely is, but I still think that specifically in WandaVision, there's so much other stuff
yeah,
that is coming about
maybe too much.
that introducing Fantastic would just be like another
Yeah.
cool thing, but it wouldn't be like
I wouldn't
it's
want them to
all-
do the whole like everybody. Like if they just did Reed Richards, that would be
yeah.
dope. Like if he just showed up for a little cameo, dropped off, which I'm assuming he's dropping off that truck that we saw in the trailer with like they're trying to penetrate the wall.
Oh yeah.
If they did that, I could see them having someone like drop it off, not showing their face,
Gotcha.
kind of like just showing their feet, kind of thing.
Yeah, or like a little note, a little
Like
something
whatever
subtle.
it may be,
Yeah.
something subtle,
That's
but
true.
like not full on showing the character.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think they would
can
do
see
that.
that.
Yeah,
But we could also see people like Hank Pym too. He's also very science based.
Hank. Yeah,
That would be kind of cool having him show up and be like they know each other somehow. Who else could fit into that role?
wait,
no,
did,
I was
wait,
gonna
did
say
she
Bruce.
specify male?
Yeah,
friend?
he. She keeps saying he.
Has to be someone new.
You think so?
Oh.
That's a new mic. Yeah.
Wait, so
I hope
she,
it's something.
wait, so she did specify male.
Yeah, so it is a he. So we don't know. We don't know who. I'm excited. It'll be cool. to
Because
see.
like the other only person I could think of would be Suri.
Yeah. But shoot, we ain't assuming genders out here. You feel me?
Yeah, because
Saying.
they know the Avengers, so it has to be someone new.
Yeah.
They know everybody.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Oh wait, it could be one of the goblin people.
Yeah, scroll. Some people were talking
Skrull?
about that.
Yeah, I mean, why are we trying to think human?
That's true. Hey, Sword is
I mean-
intergalactic. That's true.
You think
And she knows the Skrulls.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, she knows them. She knows Captain Marvel. She knows Nick Fury.
Talos shows up.
So, yeah.
what's up, guys? He's Nick Fury. Everyone's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
that would be dope. I hope so.
I mean, yeah, I mean, they kind of did get like an introduction, a reintroduction at the end of Spider-Man. So
Yep, that's true. And they're also setting up Secret Invasion, which they're going to have to integrate like very subtly all these scrolls throughout the whole place, and then something happens where they go bad.
Yeah, because really, why would they implement them at the end of Spider-Man and not use them?
Yeah, for sure. They're coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. But Elizabeth Olsen, in an interview, she said that maybe she doesn't watch Star Wars very often or something, but she said that there is a Luke Skywalker cameo, like a on the same level as Luke Skywalker in the show.
Oh, okay.
Maybe she thought Evan Peters was like that, but I don't think so.
No.
Because we knew that. We knew from set photos that he was in the show.
I mean,
that got leaked.
It's not going to be Iron Man.
No, I hope not.
No.
He needs to stay dead for a while. He does. Don't bring him back. And that's why I'm kind of thinking like maybe Reed Richards. That would be insane. That would be like a really big deal. But another person I was thinking about, which we also have to talk about her like main talk with Quicksilver. Talked about her parents a little bit.
Yeah.
And her parents in the comics, which they don't really explore in these movies, is Magneto, or her dad is Magneto. What if she's sad, just like her kids brought up, like, oh, where's your brother? And she got really sad about it, and then he showed up at the end of the episode. What if we see that with Magneto? Oh, that'd be crazy. Oh my god.
I do also recall, and these are just like rumors, but I do also recall people of like a year or two ago mentioning how Ultron was going to make a comeback.
Oh yeah.
And Ultron and Vision and her, I mean,
all connected. They brought him up in that one show.
I mean, they already showed that she pretty much put together Vision. Could Ultron be put together?
No. Oh, 100%. Oh, man. I want to finish the rest of we pretty much went over everything, right, in the episode.
We've gone over, yeah.
Even more, I'll just briefly go over it. With Quicksilver, when he was talking to her, he seemed sus. When she was like, do you think this is bad, what I'm doing? He was like, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Like, something's wrong with that. You're not impressed that you're mind controlling all these people, not giving them, like, they're literally stuck in this thing. He's saying that they're giving them better jobs and they're living this super happy life. Sure, but like they're literally trapped, like we saw with what's his name, Norm, right?
Yeah. Or even when Vision goes deeper into this town.
Oh yeah, I know, literally frozen, like the simulation theory. Like if Wanda's not near them, they're not moving.
Yeah.
Which is,
I mean, he knows way too much about Wanda too.
yes.
And if it's not Wanda who's controlling him, aka him knowing what's going on, Ultron definitely did.
Yeah, for sure.
So that could definitely be a situation right there.
I could see that. I definitely could see that. I definitely think Ultron is not done.
No, he definitely isn't. And this would be a perfect opportunity to reintroduce him.
Perfect. All right. We could kind of go over like the very end scene of her expanding the hex. Basically, that's what happened. Vision went out, got her twin, or one of her Billy. He kind of has the same powers as Wanda, with his pulling magic from other realities or whatever. And somebody made a like connection between, you know how he was seeing Vision.
Yes.
Wanda did kind of the same thing with her brother when he died in Age of Ultron. I don't know how fresh that movie is on your guys' mind, but when he died, she knew, but she wasn't near him. It just kind of foreshadows that her, like Billy has pretty much the same powers as Wanda.
So it kind of comes into play. Did Wanda give him some of her powers?
Maybe. Well, we'll see what happens with the kids because we know they're real.
How is it that the kid was able to feel Vision and Wanda wasn't?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Ooh.
So did she literally like,
Yeah. Part of herself. I think it would be interesting on the reason why, like we'll see who's like really behind all this. Maybe the reason why they want the kids so bad is not necessarily that they want the kids, but they just want Billy because Billy has pretty much the same power set. I'm not sure 100%, but as Wanda, and they're seeing what Wanda could do, and they're like, I want a kid who could do that same thing, and we're going to take your kids away from you, which I'm sure that's going to happen. Her kids are going to be ripped from her.
I could totally see that, and that's a great point because you look at it, and Billy's totally underplayed there.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
So they could definitely be saving him for like a wow reaction kind of thing,
We'll see. All right, you guys ready for me to blow your minds?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Come on.
Okay, so at the end of the episode, we see Wanda expand the hex. What the heck was that?
Your light.
That's fine. She expands the hex, right? So this gets huge, a lot bigger than it was. We also we didn't go over the fact that Monica is probably going to get her powers too. We didn't go over that the fact that she went in and out of this barrier multiple times, that it's rewriting her cells out of molecule. Oh, I don't know the word that they used, but and Monica gets she has powers in the comic. She's pretty much Captain Marvel. She has a very similar power set. So we know that this hex thing is causing something to happen with cells.
Yeah.
What if, at the end of this episode, this hex gets so big, it goes around like a portion of the world because Wanda's going crazy and all these things are happening where like maybe Vision keeps getting ripped out of this reality or her kids keep getting ripped out, so she just keeps making it bigger and keeps making it bigger. What if that's, instead of the snap kind of bringing mutants and like awakening the X gene and all these people, and maybe that's why X-Men weren't in this universe. What if it's Wanda's hex getting so big that everybody in this hex that she's consuming, it alters it? We'll see how big this hex gets, but it alters their cells. So all these people who are trapped in the hex get mutated. That's how mutants show up. It's from the hex, and then the government sword. They obviously they don't want all this situation going on. Taylor, whatever the director's name, he hates superheroes, is what we're kind of catching on to.
Yeah.
What if the reason why they want Vision's body, they really want him back, is they're going to probably eventually get him back to build Sentinels to go and kill the X-Men. Do you guys know about Sentinels at all? Or that's super big. The whole, because the government hates mutants.
Yeah.
They could kind of change it for the MCU and make it sword, but the Sentinels is what the government, I guess, makes, and these Sentinels get so advanced that they go and hunt down all these mutants, and they end up killing off the mutant race.
I think that if that was the plan, they would have definitely like introduced X-Men and had.
But no, that's what the hex is doing. The hex is swallowing. Well, let's say it swallows the whole world, and all these people who have this X gene, that hasn't. That's what is it called? Like dormant right now.
Yeah,
it hasn't shown itself. It gets consumed. The hex activates their mutant powers. That's why everybody hates mutants, or why Sword hates mutants, is because they hate Wanda and they hate what's going on. Because there's always been that like society doesn't like mutants. But why wouldn't they like mutants if all these superheroes were also... Like, there has to be a reason why people don't like mutants and don't want mutants to be a thing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So what if all these people who had this X gene, which, to get even deeper into it, I'm sure in the Eternals, that goes back, way back into... they're going to explain human life and how it was created. And how the Eternals have always been there, and there's these people called Deviants. Those are the three people in this race. You'll see. I know this is probably not making a whole lot of sense, but we're probably going to see that they made the Eternals, they made Deviants, and they also made the human life form. But this human life form has this hidden gene called the X gene that it has been dormant in humans this whole time. So my original theories is that all these snaps on Earth was going to activate this X gene. But what if the hex is the reason why this X gene gets activated? Mutants are here. everybody hates what's going on with Wanda, and all these people are left with all these powers, so people hate them. They get Vision's body. Sword gets Vision's body, and they end up using his body and his technology because there's nothing like it, because Ultron built it, literally. They get his body, they recreate the Sentinels, which that could be the MCU's version of the Sentinels, and they have Ultron kind of also involved in the Sentinels. Hopefully I'm saying that right. What?
Oh, it's just hard to follow.
Is this hard to folloll? I'm sorry. Maybe it's going to make sense to somebody.
No, I totally get where you're going. I see where you're going with it, but I don't think it's going to go there.
Okay. We'll see. Well, I mean, this is all just theorizing.
No, yeah, for sure.
I'm very interested to see if Wanda's Hex is going to be responsible for mutants. I hope so. I think that would be cool. Wanda's also a mutant herself, so...
I can see it being for maybe a mutant.
Okay.
But for all of them...
But where have they been? You know, like, how do you explain that mutants have never been in this world with all these superhuman powers? I guess you could say that they just start showing up. But...
I mean, you can also say the same thing. Like, previously to Iron Man, the superhero that planet Earth had before then was Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
You know? And that was back in the 80s, I think it was. So you're telling me that Nick Fury created this initiative, Avengers Initiative, and it wasn't until Iron Man came along that they got their next superhero?
But that's the thing. Like, you would think that it would be brought up by now after 23 movies. Like, something about mutated people.
But at the same time, didn't they just get the X-Men too?
Yeah, but that's the thing. So they just got the rights, so they have to have some kind of explanation of why mutants haven't been here this whole time, because they probably would have helped out fighting Thanos for everybody to come back. I'm sure there would have been some kind of mention of them. They can't just randomly be like, oh, they've always been here. What are you talking about? They've just been hiding.
But the Infinity Stones, their whole situation there could definitely also come to play to why they were all of a sudden brought back.
Yeah.
Or the snap could have definitely also been they were snapped out. They weren't there.
Yeah. And then they came back with this mutated version of themselves.
Maybe not mutated, but just came back in general.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you also look at Black Panther. There's been plenty of Black Panthers, and it wasn't until Civil War where we saw him.
That's true. Hey, they've been hiding.
And Nick Fury being Nick Fury, you really think he wouldn't have
figured
located him or something, or at least known of him?
We saw in Iron Man 2 at it was the very last scene. I don't know if it was the post credit or not, but we see Nick Fury going up to Iron Man saying Natasha evaluated you and you're not fit for the Avengers. Yeah, that's what they said. But on the screen behind him, you could pull this up, but I don't know. Look up Iron Man 2. It's in Disney Plus, and then skip all the way to the end. Okay. On this map, they have all these areas highlighted, and one of them is where Wakanda is. So they knew. They kind of knew something was happening there. Another one, which it hasn't came to light yet, but in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, Atlantis. That's coming soon. Namor's coming. I know we're getting deep.
Does it skip all the way to the end?
All the way towards the end.
I feel like DC got some traction, and now they're just gonna lose all of it again.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, dude. Marvel's like, oh yeah, boo.
You gotta tell me where.
It must have been post credit.
Yeah, post credit or
after that.
Very very end.
The post credit scene is
Let me see.
them out in. Oh shoot.
I think if you let it play, it'll tell you skip to the end, and then it'll take you to it.
Wait, really?
No, I don't.
Play
I haven't seen that.
Wait.
Oh no,
Wait,
right there.
You just passed it.
Go back. Back a little bit more.
Right there. There.
Oh, right there. Play a little bit, and I'm gonna have you pause it when it goes back on, Tony.
Assessment of you. Read it. Personality overview. Mr. Stark displays compulsive behavior. In my own defense, that was last week.
It might have already shown.
No, it will show at the end.
Avenger Initiative. Iron Man, yes. I gotta think about it. Read on.
There it is.
Tony Stark not
Slowly going into frame.
recommended?
Pause. Oh. Keep going.
Keep playing.
It's probably going to show again.
That doesn't make any sense. Me, but not approve me. I got a new ticker. I'm trying to do right by Pepper
Here it comes.
in a stable-ish relationship.
There you go. Pause. If you look at Africa right there, if you play it a little bit more, I'm sure it's going to show slightly. Maybe not. Just pause it.
Okay.
Which I'll throw this in the podcast. But you see Wakanda. Man, I think there's a better shot to see Africa. But they highlighted it. And then also Atlantis right there. The Pacific, like all these places were kind of highlighted. And then it foreshadowed Wakanda finally coming in like years later. And then maybe Atlantis and all these things. So
Well, there we go.
little
Kind of
Easter egg
proves-
right there.
It proved my point again. If he knew about Atlantis, why wasn't Atlantis in Endgame?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so
That's true. Well, we could also say that Professor X has just been not erasing, but you know how powerful he is. He could be hiding all these mutants at the man. I really got to get familiar with X-Men stuff. I'm not at all. The only thing I know about is this stuff.
well, I mean, if you think about it, Professor X is like the Nick Fury of X-Men.
Pretty much.
So
What if he's? I don't know. I know he's a telepath and stuff like that. But what if he's like, kind of like Wakanda, how they were hiding? What if they just been hiding in their little mutant school thing? And like, I don't know. I'm sure it's gonna get explained, and I'm sure it's coming soon. They're not gonna take their time for mutants. They definitely have some of the biggest names ever, like Wolverine and all these people. They
well,
definitely
the big
wanna
one
use
that's
them.
been getting talked about in regards of MCU and X-Men is Spider-Man and Deadpool.
Mm-hmm. Which that's where my theory about Evan Peters not being Quicksilver from that universe gets a little sloppy, because let's just say that he is Mephisto, but he was from another universe. And then they start introducing Deadpool and introducing all these people who were literally in a different movie universe. How is that going to get explained? Is Evan Peters really?
I mean, why couldn't they come in from a different multiverse?
yeah.
Multiverse. Verse. I can speak.
Yeah. Yeah, but is that going to have connection to WandaVision? You would think so, because all this stuff is happening soon. You would think so. But maybe not. Maybe this is just what's going on with Wanda, and this stuff happens differently. But we know that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is coming out, and this show leads directly into that movie. We know Spider-Man 3 is also going to have connections to whatever is going on in that story. And we know that there's other universe villains, at least, in that movie.
Yeah.
So it's kind of getting explained that Wanda is pulling people from all these other multiverses, bringing them in. But how is that happening?
I mean, we also have to remember that there's a whole nother time frame, too.
With what?
Captain America never came back.
That's true. That's a whole nother thing. That is true. Captain America pulls up, saves it.
That's a whole nother time frame.
Yeah.
Because all these other people still remember Captain America as Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
But now he's an old dude who apparently lived this other life.
I never thought of that. I never thought of that at all, actually. You kind of made a good point. Like, there really was no Captain America in that timeline, wherever he went back to.
Or was there?
What if
was he living?
Thanks. Where are we at?
All right, so
Captain America.
Captain
yeah,
America.
so hear me out. In order for a multiverse or for a single timeline not to be altered, if something gets removed, it needs to be put back.
Yeah.
Kind of like the stones. Now there's multiple things here. One is Loki, which is the big obvious one.
Yeah.
The second one is Captain America not coming back.
Uh-huh.
And the third one is they took those little time capsule things.
Oh, that's true.
And
But did they take them all?
They didn't take them all, but they never put back the ones that
That's
were
true.
there.
That's
And
a, like all these
if
things.
you remember, Ant-Man only had a few to play with. He was already limited as it was.
Ooh. So if you take a little bit from that timeline back then, they wouldn't have it?
So if you take from that timeline and don't put it back, you just altered a whole different timeline.
Yeah, like anything they did, I guess, would have repercussions. So.
Exactly. So anything going on right now, we have to also keep into mind that there's a bunch of gray area. One is the stone that got blown up by Wanda, which we talked about, and the other is these altered timelines that just...
Yeah, that's true. Like that might have a factor into like why other things are going on.
Yeah.
That is true. That is very true. I hope that's all Loki. I hope that's literally the whole show is Loki getting taken by the time war. Oh man, I gotta learn these names. Time something. What is it called? Go ahead and look up time variance something.
Time variance.
It's not time variance.
No, it's called something else.
No, it doesn't have time in its name.
TVA is the abbreviation. Oh no, time variance authority, I think is what it's called.
Wait, the camera.
Oh,
Think it overheated.
yeah, it's overheating.
Is it?
It might. I don't know.
It would tell you on the screen if it
Turn
did
it
or
off.
not.
Turn it off, and then turn it back on.
There's no like heat thing flashing in the corner, is there?
Okay. Well, we'll have to wrap it up, I guess, shortly. Definitely some issues with this camera. This dude at Best Buy, he sold me that, and he made it seem like that was the like.
You just have to figure it out.
Yeah, I know. It's just irritating, but he was like,
That's your fault for buying some.
yeah, I know. I didn't know. I really know nothing about cameras, so
Yeah.
I was this perfect victim. Whatever.
Oh, you told me to look something up.
Oh, Loki time variance. Yeah, I don't even know if we could label this like WandaVision episode 6 breakdown. Yeah, we can. Just off the rails. Off the rails.
Time. What?
Time variance authority.
Oh, sorry.
I think is what it's called. Sorry for yelling.
That is what it's called.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
It would be so dope as Loki gets captured by them. They're like, you did all these things and you made all these multiverses happen, because in that trailer we see all kinds of different like worlds it seems like he's going to. What if, because he left with that the Tesseract, he has to go and fix all of these moments in the MCU history of maybe the Avengers coming back and ruining the multiverse. Him and the Time Variance Authority are going and fixing all these points in time. That would be kind of dope. It would be interesting.
Now here's the thing. If Loki disappeared, and then one way or another he gets convinced that, bro, you got to put this back to where it was, and he goes back handcuffed at that exact same moment, does time go back to its norm?
Maybe.
Is Loki not dead?
He died, but you remember in Endgame when he jacked the Tesseract when they were in New York?
Yeah.
That's the whole show. Disney Plus show of Loki is from that point in time.
It did it again.
Oh, okay. All right. We're going to record. We got to have to end it, I guess. But, do you guys have any more theories you want to talk about WandaVision?
No.
I think we should end it with what are we most still expecting from WandaVision?
Yeah.
Like, I was gonna say my biggest.
Yeah, go ahead. I also kind of wanted to like rate the episode. I wanted that to be kind of like a segment of the podcast, like rate it compared to like.
Kind of didn't like it.
10. You didn't like it?
I feel like this episode had a lot of.
It caused more questions. I feel like for me.
That, and it also had like stuff they didn't need to add.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they pushed it a lot, but
I definitely think last episode was a lot better than this episode. I really liked this episode. I love Evan Peters.
Yeah.
He was like my favorite part. It was super dope. And then obviously Wanda expanding the hex. That's it's gonna get crazy from this point forward, but it didn't have the weight that episode 5 had. Episode 5 was great when she walked out of the portal. I was like,
well, we also have to understand not every episode's gonna carry its own weight.
That's true. That's true.
There are just some episodes that need to be a setup for something else.
Yeah, that's true.
So honestly, I think I'm with you that this is a setup to introduce a character.
I hope.
But I mean, who knows though?
Yeah, who knows? I'm excited though. I can't believe we're getting shows from Marvel that are interwoven into this freaking the best world building there's ever been.
Now, let me ask guys this. Do you guys think that this whole episode thing is the future of Marvel?
We'll see. Right now, I think movies are always going to be a part, and that will be the big event.
Yeah.
But this is movie quality. It literally really is movie quality. So for sure, like we got to spend more time with all these characters, flesh them out, and then have some crazy event in a movie.
You know how Civil War was like an introduction to Spider-Man,
all these characters,
Black
Panther,
Black Panther, and all.
Ooh, yeah, we gotta end it soon. But maybe. Yeah, it's probably so weird.
You know what's awesome? Chadwick Boseman is still in What If.
Oh yeah! Oh my god! I
didn't know that.
Wait for that. Apparently, he filmed multiple seasons of What If, so
really?
it's not just his Star-Lord what they're showing us. Like, there's been multiple seasons already made, and they just have it.
That's awesome.
That's beautiful.
No, but like to my question though is
Go ahead.
So like, all right, so yeah, that was the intro to a bunch of characters. I'm kind of seeing it more like episodes might be like that, like Civil War thing where like we might get introduction of characters, we might get some kind of story established.
Yeah.
And then like movies would be like the Black Panther movie.
Yeah.
Where like,
totally.
All right, we already know about this character. Now let's give them their own movie.
Yeah.
Or even to the extent of Avengers or whatever it might be, some kind of big thing.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. 100%.
I mean, now we have like the as Guardians of the Galaxy coming up too. So like
Thor 4 is, oh my god. Okay, we're gonna say that for another podcast. It's
Yeah.
gonna be amazing. Camera keeps shutting off because it's overheating or something. Trash camera. Sony, you suck. A6000. Don't buy it. It's like if you're trying to record videos, don't buy it.
There's probably a way to fix it.
I've tried everything. I try to like.
have you tried pouring water on it?
I might have to. I really might. We're gonna end it there. This was awesome. We're definitely gonna do this again for sure. Super dope. Next week we're gonna do the same thing, but it's gonna be episode 7, and I'm super excited. Can't wait.